What's going on, everyone, and welcome back to another edition of FaceTime. I'm your host, Ramsey Abushala, and today's guest from Real Salt Lake, Zack Farnsworth. Zach, how you doing? Thanks for dropping by, man.
Oh yeah, no problem, man. I'm doing really good right now. How are you?
I'm good, man. Thanks again for taking the time. So you know, you're a Utah guy. Spent a good amount of your childhood there. We're signed to a homegrown contract earlier this summer. Can you just
hmm
kind of take us through, what was going through your head through all that, what it was like getting picked up by the hometown team?
For sure, for sure. Honestly, like at first it was pretty surreal. Like as it kind of got going. I mean, like I'd always had plans and dreams to make it to this level, and for me, like definitely a huge dream of mine accomplished. Work doesn't stop here, but like going through that process this past spring, it was it was pretty cool because I ended up getting hurt in one of our first
Yeah,
preseason games,
yeah.
and I thought that was kind of it for me this year. I was like, all right, I'll go to college, see how that goes out. I was committed to Clemson University,
Mhm.
great program there, but ended up the GM and everybody at RSL, the people upstairs, they still had a lot of faith in me, and that spoke volumes to me. And I was like, well, let's do it. This is where I want to be. So once I made that decision, once it kind of clicked that like, oh, I'm gonna be a pro, like playing for RSL. This is a team, this is a stadium I went to, and when I just moved here as a little kid, when I was like 10, 11 years old, and I remember going to the games, and that's gonna be me on the field. Like it kind of clicked, and I was like, wow, that's really cool. Like, you know, it was super surreal at first. So
Yeah, I mean, and it's kind of a testament to the club's kind of belief in you that they picked
mhm.
you up even after that injury. But that first preseason game that you played, was it the first game that you played in that you got hurt?
Yeah, it was like I got my first start in the little preseason. We were down in Tucson, Arizona. We were playing Phoenix Rising,
Mm.
and maybe not even 5 minutes in, I get a ball. I have to cut real quick, and my ankle just kind of gives out on me. And from there, I was like, all right. I tried to play through it, but I was like, all right, this might be a little more serious. So, but
Yeah,
yeah,
but
super unlucky.
so I mean, that happening so early on in the season,
hmm
how did that kind of change your perspective and outlook as an athlete?
Honestly, I've been through injuries before. I had a hip labrum surgery a few years ago, and
Oh wow.
and that I mean, injuries are no fun, man. Like it definitely sucks. I'm going through one long term one right now. I've already been through another long term one, but honestly, like it definitely helps me go through it earlier in my career than later. Learn a lot of lessons. I mean, right now, like we've had a lot of bumps in the road, but we're definitely trending positive
Yeah.
lately. Ankles getting better slowly, and honestly, just trusting the Lord and in His plans for me, man. Because I got so much faith in Him and leaning on Him more now than ever. So I'm in good hands, and just got to keep my faith and be there for the team however I can, like even if I can't be on the field. So.
Right, right, yeah, and what's that the rehab process been like? Because it's been obviously a few months now,
Mhm.
and what have you been going through? How's everything been kind of progressing, and is there like a timetable for a possible return?
Yeah. So in the beginning, the surgeon was like, "Look, you'll probably be healthy in around 6 months. You'll be able to kind of get accelerating again, get going, get playing." And 6 months post surgery would have put me at like mid October. So obviously that hasn't gone to plan,
Right.
but it's just kind of my ankle's taking a little longer to heal, which is all good. Just sticking to it. It's been a lot of tedious rehab for sure.
Yeah.
I've been in the training room more more than anyone.
Right.
Every day this
Right.
season. Sure, the trainers are sick of me already, but I mean, I've grown pretty close to them, so I'm in good hands. I know that. But yeah, like probably 3 4 months we tried running. We started that progression. It was going well until the fourth or fifth like kind of planned run we had. it just started hurting, and I was like, all right, like, is this something I can work through? Is it not? And
Yeah.
obviously it wasn't. It would have been even worse for me to continue. So I had to pull out from that, but we're kind of working our way towards making that progression again soon. And I think being ready to go for this next preseason is a huge
Yeah.
goal of mine. But if not close to around that, is a pretty close timetable for me, I think. But it's all about getting healthy for now, man.
Yeah, yeah, and you mentioned that you're still kind of able to spend time with the team, even though
Mm-hmm.
obviously it's not on the field. What are some ways that you kind of interact with the team, and what's that been like so far?
It's been huge for me. Like, I think for first year player like me, being
Yeah,
around the team and being around the atmosphere is super important. Even if I can't play, definitely sucks. But
yeah,
I'm going out watching training when I can. A lot of times I'm in the rehab room, the
mm,
treatment room, doing our exercises, biking, working out, whatever. But a lot of times I'm real close to them. Is like locker room. There's nothing better than your typical locker room banter and all that, and
yeah,
get some good lifts in with the guys. I'm in the weight room same time as them usually, so that's a good time. But yeah, it's good to be closer to the guys than I was last year. Like it definitely helps me get into a rhythm. Hopefully next year when I'm playing with them.
yeah. And do they kind of give you a pass on the rookie duties since you're hurt, or are they postponing them to next year when you're back, or how does that work?
Shoot, man, I hope they've postponed it because I haven't had to do much. But I did sing in Arizona for preseason. That was
Nice.
not my favorite time.
what,
But
what
no,
what
man,
what was your
they're all
go-to?
super
What
guys,
what
super
what'd
good
you
guys.
sing?
I think I sang. It was uh what was it? Ain't no mountain high enough. That's what
Oh,
it
that's a
was.
classic. That's a
Yeah,
classic. You can't
yeah,
go
it's a
wrong with
classic.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah, there you go.
yeah, yeah. But
Has
it was all good.
Yeah, yeah. Has there been any vets that have kind of taken you under your wing? Is anyone in particular, with your time with the first team that's kind of shown you the ropes and given you some advice?
Not yet. Not like honestly, not anyone in particular. I think it's kind of hard not being on the field with them,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
they're all super good group of guys, man. We got a good group this year. Justin Glad, he's been great. He's always such a good dude. Brings a lot of energy.
mhm,
I like hanging around him. Nick Beasler, and
yeah,
Donnie Toya. Those two are good dudes, man. They're characters for sure. But yeah, no one in particular, but we got a really good group. And Demir Krylak, big role model. He he helps a lot. Like you see him do so well on Saturdays, on
yeah,
game days, and then he comes in and he's greeting everybody. He's making sure like I'm doing good, even in my rehab, even though it doesn't really matter yet. But no,
yeah,
they're all super good guys. They're taking care of me for sure.
yeah. That's awesome. That's awesome. And so talk to me about Utah for a little bit. What was it like growing up there? And for those of us who might not be familiar with, are you from Salt Lake City?
Yeah, so originally when we moved here, I moved here about when I was 10.
Yeah, right.
We moved right to Park City, Utah, so big
Okay,
big
cool.
mountain town.
Right.
But this past spring, me and the family, we moved down to Salt Lake, made the transition. But for the most part, was in Park City. So
Yeah, what was it like growing up there? And how did that kind of shape you as both a person and a player?
yeah. So Park City, it being such a mountain town, a lot of skiing, a
Yeah,
lot of snowboarding. I do love snowboarding, man. It's a super good time. My mom grew up in Denver, so she's a skier at heart. She's a mountain girl at heart. I grew up in Florida like early years, so
hmm
like from like 3 to 10, and that was kind of when my love for soccer grew and kind of took off there.
uh-huh.
Played a lot of like we played 3v3, and
Right.
down there it's more or less like pickup, but it's more serious. Like you got refs and stuff, and
hmm
and and all us kids took it real serious. So like a lot of tight plays or a lot of tight spaces playing, and that's kind of what honestly me into the player I am today. And then coming to Utah, like soccer wasn't as big, but in Salt Lake it was. So went down to Salt Lake, you know, did all the club stuff like that. But getting into like the Olympic development program, the ODP stuff, that was huge for me. Being able to play against people like from California, Arizona, stuff like that. That was huge, getting into that and just kind of being seen because Utah is definitely like a underrated type place for soccer.
Mm-hmm.
Like you don't think of it being as a big soccer place, but we do have some talent and you just gotta go find it pretty much.
Right. And they found you too, right? So what was that like kind of getting into the ODP program? You played in Argentina, right? For a little bit. What was that like, you know, playing with a bunch of guys from all over?
It was super cool, man. I mean, getting to go on like little trips like Argentina, like went to Costa Rica, like provided by the ODP and that organization. It was super cool. Like I've made some lifelong friends from that. One of my best friends, he went to that Argentina trip with me, and that's kind of how we knew each other. And then come freshman year at RSL Academy, we're there together playing all throughout high school. So it's pretty cool. And then you got guys like Josh Atencio, he's playing for Sounders now. He was on that Argentina trip too. You know, it's pretty cool. You come to realize how small the soccer community is once you kind of make it, and it's pretty cool. That's been huge for me. That's been pretty impactful. Just seeing where the guys go, like that I was with when I was young, you know, that's real cool.
Yeah, and was there like a kind of like a growing pains for you as a player, or were you always on that level to where, you know, you felt like you belonged with players of that caliber?
I think, you know, I always had confidence. I always thought confidence was huge, huge thing as a player, no matter what stage you're in. But I think growing up, I always played up. I always played against older kids.
Mm-hmm.
I was always a little bit smaller when I was growing up because I was playing against older kids, and I think that helped my game really grow. And then once I kind of grew into myself a little bit, got a little taller, got a little meat on me, not much, still a little
working
skinny
on that.
dude, still working on that, getting in my gym sessions, but no, man, I think playing up was real important, and then getting to that academy level was kind of where it kicked in. Was like, okay, like I need to really, like, it's go time. Like I need to make this happen. Like I'm gonna be here for a reason. I'm gonna make it count, and that's kind of what my mental process was going through it. And just I have so much fun playing that like I could play all day, all night, like so fun. So that for me was just huge, getting in the academy and kind of just grinding everything, man. It's definitely a grind.
Yeah, so you got into the academy, and then you get a scholarship to Clemson. How close were you to actually going to Clemson? Was obviously you got signed by the first team with the homegrown contract, so that kind of you know, you went there instead. But was that a decision at all, or was it just, you know, I'll take the bag?
It was no, it was definitely a big decision, man. Clemson University, like Coach Noonan, he's the head coach. Mm-hmm. He runs a great program. He's a tremendous dude. Me and my mom, she came with me on my official visit there. Like it was something I was really considering. Like college has been important for me and my family, education. They've always drilled that in my head since I was super young, like school before soccer. And I totally agree with it. I'm taking online classes for college now, but for my career and soccer wise, like taking the pro route was definitely the right choice. And so, yeah, it was a big decision, and going there and seeing coach and seeing how good of a dude he was, and how much he and the team, like the camaraderie of the team, like it was hard not to go to that. But I think choosing RSL is definitely the right choice for me, and I'm real happy. And yeah, I mean, go Tigers, but RSL all the way, man.
Right. Yeah. Do you stay in touch with Coach Noonan at all, or you know, is he kind of giving you some advice here and there?
Yeah, a little bit. We text back and forth sometimes. He'll reach out, call me, see how I'm doing rehab wise. But I think once I get playing more,
Right.
we'll talk more. But no, he's a tremendous dude, man. I look up to him a lot.
Cool. Cool. Yeah. Cool. Yeah. So we like to close things out with a little rapid fire round. So I'll throw some, quick hit questions, put you on the hot seat for a little bit, and then we can wrap up.
All right. Sounds good, man.
Cool. All right. So obviously, soccer and fashion is kind of intertwined a lot over the past, few years, especially with the pregame runway mini fashion show that occurs before every game. So with that in mind, who are some of the best dressed players on RSL?
Oh man, you always got the trio of Justin Glad, Aaron Herrera, Brody. They always look nice. They always look clean together. Not totally sure what Beezer's been doing. He rocks some classic dad outfits, but no, man. Donnie Toya is always pretty well dressed. Same with Ochoa. I gotta give it to him. He always comes in clean, ready. So
yeah. And how would you describe your style? Is that a Stetson behind you? Would you big country western?
Oh man, that's my rodeo hat, man.
So you got the boots and everything?
I do. I got a pair, and gotta come rocking those to the rodeos, man. Country concerts, all that. I love that stuff.
Nice. Yeah. So another next up, if I'm in Salt Lake City for one day, what's the one thing that I need to do, see, eat? What's the one thing I have to experience if I'm in the city for 24 hours?
Yeah. Definitely got to come to an RSL game, man, for sure. That's number one on the list.
Hit up Rio Tinto.
Oh, for sure, for sure. Maybe if you're in town for brunch, definitely hit up the Park Cafe. I actually went there this morning. They take care of you. Get the Michigan hash, real good. Definitely go up to Park City. Maybe drive around a Guardians Pass. It's beautiful up there. It's kind of where our ski mountains kind of connect over from Salt Lake to Park City. So that's a real pretty drive. Yeah, man, that's kind of it. I mean, you kind of knock out everything, going to good brunch, good eats, great game at night at Rio Tinto, and then knocking out some cool like touristy stuff in Park City during the day. That's a good day here.
Cool. And yeah, you're a big outdoors guy, right? And there's probably not a better place to be than Utah when it comes to outdoor activities. So, between the big five national parks, Bryce Canyon, Canyonlands, Zion Arches, and Capitol Reef, what's your power ranking? The official power ranking between those five?
Sure, man. This is definitely embarrassing for me to even mention, but I've only actually been to one. I've only actually been to Zion.
Oh wow.
Yeah, pretty. I'm definitely embarrassed when I say that. Being a Utah native now for the past 8-9 years, but got to put Zion at top, man. It's beautiful though.
Self-proclaimed outdoors guy, only gone to one of them, huh? But you're gonna put that's stuff to look forward to.
Exactly, and I think going to there. I mean, there's so many good places up here, like little reservoirs. Tons of hikes around here. Like, haven't really needed to go down south yet, but when I've been to Zion, it's beautiful. Like, beautiful. Definitely, sunrise hikes are some of the most amazing sights like I'll ever see. So that's what I love.
Yeah, once you get that ankle healed up, maybe
hit
up some of the other ones.
You're telling me, man. I can't wait.
Yeah. All right, man. Listen, I know you're a busy guy. I won't keep you for any longer. Any last shout outs that you want to put out there?
No, man. I'm all good. I enjoyed being on. Thank you, Ramsey, for having me, man.
Cool. All right. For Zack Farnsworth and Urban Pitch, I'm Ramsey Abushala. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.
For sure.